Axolotl is a jellyfish from the Caribbean Sea. It looks like a fish, but has a lizard-like leg. Their bizarre form makes them called sea monsters, or walking fish. The walking fish axolotl has been on the planet for a long time, but there are still many things about this strange creature that people do not know. Let's explore some of axolotl's mysteries. Axolotl is scientifically named Turritopsis nitricula. The name axolotl comes from Mexican. ATL means water, xolotl means dog. The name axolotl means water dog. Axolotl is considered as a pet cultivated in the home. Axolotl is usually brownish-green or black, rarely white. White axolotl, called leucistic, is a crossbreed with a mutant gene imported from France in 1803. Black axolotl grow up with blue eyes, unlike the white axolotl that usually has red eyes. You can see axolotl in aquariums and laboratories around the world, but cannot see them in the natural world.
It lives in Xochimilco Lake, Mexico. Axolotl is easy to feed. It can eat small fish, worms, and anything near its mouth. Due to pollution, habitat loss, and other invasive aquatic animals, axolotl is increasingly at risk of extinction, despite the fact that it has the characteristic of revitalizing the body parts. In order to preserve the axolotl, scientists built their dwellings with reeds and rocks, but the number of axolotl continues to decrease. The 1998 survey found that there were still about 6,000 wild axolotl. So far, so few scientists have ever found them. By 2014, biologists cannot find any children. Perhaps they were extinct in the natural world, only living in artificial pools. When axolotl was not at risk of extinction, Mexicans eat meat with brains. Someone describes that, eating meat it tastes like eel meat. Today, to taste this special jellyfish you have to go to Japan. In Osaka Prefecture there is a restaurant specializing in processed dishes from axolotl, especially roasted axolotl. Eating it tastes like white fish meat but is slightly scraped. In mythology of Mexico, Axolotl is the god of the head depicting the evil, leading the souls of the dead to the realm of the dead. Some stories have been altered, attributed to real things that have happened, but it is believed that the head of the dog has turned into Axolotl to hide. This jellyfish is trapped in the lake of Xochimilco, cannot be changed to land. The larvae of an adult to an adult do not change characteristics. In a few cases, they reveal the characteristics of adolescence in adulthood. Axolotl is a typical example of larvae. They grow up but never grow up. Unlike tadpoles and similar animals, they stick to thorns, which live in water, although the lungs are well developed. One scientist was able to activate axolotl by not letting him live in the water. This causes the hormone to be pushed higher and lead to unexpected growth. Axolotl becomes more tadpole-like but requires further rearing. Axolotl may change our habits, but biologists recommend not doing so to preserve them. Axolotl is capable of replacing organs, such as the limbs, the spine, including the brain without leaving a scar, as is the case with perfecting. It is considered the only immortal creature on Earth. You can cut the nerve to the back, cut the hind legs of the front legs, it again to replace the other parts perfectly, without leaving a trace. You cut it 100 times as it grows back. Scientists have successfully transplanted this axolotl unit into another axolotl. In 2012, the Salk Institute for Biological Studies published 2 research papers on the regenerative capacity of axolotl in the hopes of finding out what mechanisms could be applied to humans, but the results show that axolotl's reconstruction process is more complex than the scientists think. They fear that humans do not have enough genes needed for part regeneration. They continue to study in the hope that the future will open up new therapies for people who need to replace organs.
Interesting tigers that you may not know. On July 29th, the world celebrates the International Tigers Day. Here are some interesting facts about this amazing animal that you may not know. The number and pattern of the black stripes on the tiger's fur is the main feature that distinguishes the different subspecies of the animal. The number of stripes on the tiger's body can be up to 100. A Amur tiger, living in Russia, possesses thick and long feathers. It has stripes smaller than other subspecies, but it has the longest tail, up to 115 centimeters. A total of 6 species of tigers all over the world. Amur is the largest species, but the most endangered species. More than 5,000 tigers live in tiger cages in so-called tiger farms in China. Tigers are banned worldwide, but the ranchers do not close their farms hoping the ban will be lifted. In China, various tiger body parts, from bone to beard, have been illegally used to produce placebos, primarily for the treatment of sexual problems. During breeding time, a tiger only spends 2 or 3 days to meet the females. After this brief encounter, the tiger left the tiger in the future until their children grew up and were ready to begin their independent life. This period lasts about 2 years, in which tigers are not involved in raising baby tigers. Baby cubs can feed themselves when they reach 11 months of age. However, they are considered fully mature when they turn 2 years old. If their mothers die or are killed by poachers, tigers will not be able to find regular food for themselves in the wilderness and often go to places where people live to hunt for their pets. The Amur tiger can be called absolute hunter, standing on the top of the food chain. Tiger attack and eat smaller animals. A hungry tiger can even attack a bear. However, the Amur tiger never kills more animals than the food required to sustain life. In Russia, tigers are faced with fines of up to 100,000 rubles, $1,800, and imprisonment for up to 2 years. However, in order to store and transport tiger skin, the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, is working hard to ensure that fines for transportation and storage of tigers are increased. Ten interesting facts about lions. Adult lions consume around 10 to 15 kilograms of meat a day. The life will keep longer in doubles than in 15 years in same 25 to 30 years in the class of birth. Ancient Romans used Barbary lions to fight gladiators. Lion is the only living member of the cat family. They live in groups, also known as lions. Each lion has an average of 15 animals. The roar of a lion can be heard from 5 miles, about 8 kilometers, away. A good measure of the age of a male lion is the darkness of the mane. Male lion is older, its mane is darker. The heel lions do not touch the ground as they walk. Lions have great night vision. Their eyes are 6 times more sensitive to light than human eyes. The ancient Egyptians worshipped the lions as their war gods for their intensity, power and strength. Lions can live without water for 4 days.